I have a secret of yours as a pledge for mine. Now you'll be good for something. I will have you conversable in the subjects of the sex.
Oh, sister, do you really think I am so weak as to fall in love at first sight?
No, spoil all. Why should we not be as free in our friendships as the men? I warrant you, he has got to his confidant already, has avowed his passion, toasted to your health, called you 10,000 angels, run over your face, eyes, neck, shape and air, and in everything in a description that warms their mirth to a second enjoyment.
Your hand, sister, I ain't well.
Oh, so she's breeding already. Come on, up with it. Hello, little. Tell me, didn't you like the man we saw at church just now?
The man's well enough.
Well enough! Is he not a narcissus, a demigod, a star, a man in the moon?
Sister, I'm extremely ill.
Shall I send for your mother, child, with a little of her cephalic plaster to put on the soles of your feet? Or perhaps I should send for the gentleman with a little something for you. Come, unlace your stays, unbosom yourself. The man was a perfectly pretty fellow. I saw him when he first came into church.
I saw him too, sister. And with an air that shone, methought, like rays about his person.
Oh, well said. Up with it.
No forward coquette behaviour, no airs to set him off, no studied looks nor artful posture, but oh, nature did it all.
Oh, better and better. One touch more, come.
And his looks. Oh, did you observe his eyes?
Oh, yes, his eyes. What of his eyes?
Oh, sprightly, but not wandering. Oh. They seemed to view, but gazed upon nothing but me. And then, so noble that he could with pride die at my feet.
Oh! The physic works purely. How do you find yourself now, my dear?
Much better. Oh, here comes our Mercury.
Madam, I brought you a packet of news.
Well, open it quickly, come. Sit.
In the first place, I inquired who the gentleman was. They told me he was a stranger. And secondly, I asked what the gentleman was. They answered and said that they never saw him before. Thirdly, I inquired what countryman he was, and they replied that they did not know. Fourthly, I demanded whence he came, and their response was more than they knew. And fifthly, I inquired whither he went, and they replied that they knew nothing of the matter.
Well, did the people say anything? Can they not guess?
Well, some say he's a spy, and some guess he's a mountebank, but for my own part, madam, I believe he's a Jesuit.
A Jesuit? Why a Jesuit?
Because he keeps his horses always saddled, and his footman talks French.
His footman?
Aye, he and the Count's footman would jabber in French like two intriguing ducks in a mill pond, and I do believe that they talked of me, for they laughed consumedly.
What sort of livery had this footman?
Livery? Lord, madam, I took him for a captain. He was so bedizened with lace. He has tops to his boots, up to his mid-leg, a fine silver cane dangling at his knuckles. He walks in the French fashion, just so. And there's a fine long periwig tied up in a bag. Lord, madam, he's clear another sort of man than I.
Oh, well, that may easily be. But what shall we do now, sister? I have it.
This fellow has a world of simplicity and some cunning, but the first hides the latter by abundance. Scrub?
Madam.
We have a mind to know who this fellow is, only for our satisfaction, of course.
Yes, madam, it would be a satisfaction, no doubt.
You are to go and get acquainted with this fellow. You are to invite him hither to drink a bottle of your ale, because you are a butler today.
Yes, madam, I'm butler every Sunday.
Oh, sister, you understand the mathematics already. 'Tis the best plot in the world. Your mother, you know, will be gone to church. My spouse will be got to the alehouse with his scoundrels, and the house will be our own. So we'll drop in, by accident, and ask the fellow some questions ourselves. In the country, any stranger is company, and we'd be glad to take up with the butler in a country dancer, if he'd do us the favour of it.
Madam, you wrong me. I'd never refuse your ladyship the favour of my life.
Ladies, dinner's on the table. Scrub, go where we ordered you. We'll excuse your waiting.
I shall.
Well, Tom, I find you're a marksman. Who so blind could be as not to stern a swan among the ravens?
Harkee, aim well.
Aim well. Call me Arundites, Cesario Amadis. All that romance can a lover paint, and then I'll answer, oh, Archer. I read her thousands in her looks. She looked like Ceres in her harvest, corn, wine and oil, milk and honey, and gardens, groves, played on her plenteous face.
Her face. Her pockets, you mean? Her corn, wine and oil lays there. In short, she's £10,000. That's the English on it.
Her eyes.
Demi-cannons, to be sure. So I won't stand their battery.
Pray, excuse me, my passion must have vent.
Passion? Oh, what a plague. Do you think these romantic airs will do our business? If my temper is extravagant as yours, my adventures would have something more romantic by the half.
Your adventures?
Yes. The nymph that with her twice £100, with brazen engine hot and quaff clear starch, can fire the guest in the warming of the bed. There's a touch of sublime Milton for you, but the subject of an innkeeper's daughter. I can play with a woman like an angler does with a fish, holds it on the end of his line, runs it up the stream and down the stream, till at last he brings it into his hands, tickles the trout, and whips so into his basket.
Well, well, I won't.
Very well, sir.
Be away.
Very well.
Well, can't you give me a bill upon Cherry in the meantime?
No, child. She's engrossed to my market. Once more I warn you to keep your anchorage clear of mine. For if you fall foul of me, by this light you shall go to the bottom. And what may prize my little frigate when I am upon cruise for you?
Landlord! Landlord!
Yes, sir.
Have you any tolerable company in this house?
Sir.
I don't care for dining alone.
There's a captain below, as the saying is, who arrived about an hour ago.
A gentleman of his coat is welcome everywhere. Tell him I should be glad of his company.
I obey your commands.
Sir, I'm yours.
'Tis more than I deserve, sir, for I do not know you.
I don't wonder at that, sir. You have never seen me before, I hope.
And how came I by the honour of seeing you now?
Sir, I scorn to intrude upon any gentleman, but my land...
Oh, sir, I ask your pardon. You're the captain he told me of.
Aye, sir, at your service.
What regiment may I be so bold?
A marching regiment, sir, an old corps.
Very old, if his coat be regimental. Served abroad, sir?
Aye, sir, in the plantations. 'Twas my lot to be sent into the worst service. I would have quitted it indeed, but a man of honour, you know. Besides, 'twas for the good of my country that I should be abroad. Anything for the good of one's country.
And where is your company now, Captain?
They ain't come yet.
Why, do you expect them here?
They'll be here tonight.
Which way do they march?
Across the country. The devil's in it. If I hadn't given him enough to encourage him to declare, but I'm afraid he's not right. I must tack about.
Is your company to quarter in Lichfield?
In this house, sir.
What, all?
We are but three, sir. My company's but thin.
You're merry, sir.
Aye, sir. You must excuse me, for I understand the world, especially the art of travelling. I don't care, sir, for answering questions directly upon the road, for I generally ride with a charge about me.
3 or 4, I believe.
I am credibly informed that there are highwaymen upon this quarter. Not, sir, that I could suspect a man of your figure, but truly, sir, I have such a way of evasion upon the road that I don't care for speaking truth to any man.
Your caution may be necessary. Then I presume you're no captain.
Not I, sir. Captain is a good travelling name. It stops many inquiries that are generally made about a gentleman who travels. It gives a man an air of something, and makes the drawers obedient, and thus far I am a captain and no further.
And pray, sir, what is your true profession?
Sir, upon my word, I don't think it's safe to tell you.
Upon my word, I commend you.
There's a gentleman below, as the saying is, who, hearing you were but two, would be glad to make the third man if you'd give him leave.
What sort of a man is he?
He's a clergyman, sir.
A clergyman? Is he really a clergyman, or is that only his travelling name, as my friend the captain has it?
Sir, he is a priest and chaplain to the French officers in town.
A Frenchman?
Born in Brussels, as the saying is.
A Frenchman and a priest. I won't be seen in his company. I have a reputation I value.
Pray, desire him to walk up.
Very well.
Have you gentlemen both?
A Frenchman. And sir, your most humble servants.
Oh, dude, I am your most faithful servant and yours also.
Sir, you speak good English, but you have the mighty twang of a foreigner.
My English is very well for words, but we foreigners, you know, cannot bring our tongues about the pronunciation so soon.
A foreigner? A downright teague by this light. Were you born in France, Doctor?
I was educated in France, born in Brussels, and I am a subject of the King of Spain, Joy.
What king of Spain, sir? Speak!
On my soul, I cannot tell us yet.
Nay, Captain, that was too hard upon the Doctor. He is a stranger.
Oh, let him alone, Joy. I am of a nation that's not easily put out of countenance.
Gentlemen, I'll end this dispute. Hey, landlord!
Yes, sir?
Is the dinner ready?
Upon the table, as the saying is.
Gentlemen, pray that door.
The captain must lead.
No, Doctor, the church is our guide.
Aye, so it is.
Oh, my dear boy! Let's have that song once more.
No. We should disturb the family. But will you be sure to keep that secret?
Upon my honours, I'm a gentleman.
'Tis enough. You must know then that my master is Lord Viscount Amon. He fought a duel the other day in London and wounded his man so dangerously that he's feel fit to withdraw till he hears the man's wounds be mortal or not. He's never been in this part of the England before, so he chose to retire to this place. That is all.
And that's enough for me.
Where were you when your master fought?
We don't know of our master's quarrels.
No. If our master's here in the country, you receive a challenge, the first thing they do is tell their wives. The wives tell the servants alarm the tenants, and in half an hour, you have the whole country in arms. Come, we'll make an end of our tankard. Sit down.
With all my heart. Who knew you and I would be better acquainted, eh? Here's to your family's health. You have 3 sisters, I think. May there be secrets among them.
Oh, secrets. Aye, friend. I wish I had a friend.
Well, am I not your friend? Come, you and I will be sworn brothers.
Shall we?
From this minute. Give me a kiss. And now, Brother Scrub.
And now, Brother Martin, I shall tell you a secret to make your hair stand on end. You must know that I am consummately in love.
That is a terrible secret. That's the truth on it.
That jade gypsy that was with us just now in the cellar is the arrantest whore that ever wore a petticoat. And I am dying for love of her.
Well, are you in love with a person or a virtue, Brother Scrub?
Well, I should like virtue best, as it's more durable than beauty and holds with some women long and many a day after they've lost it.
Well, in the country, I grant you, where no woman's virtue is lost till a bastard be found.
Could I bring her to a bastard, I should have her all to myself.
Well, how comes it changed now?
Why, the mother of all this mischief is a priest.
A priest?
I, a damned son of a whore of Babylon, who came over hither to say grace with the French officers and eat up our provisions. There's not a day goes over his head without a dinner or supper in this house.
How come he came so familiar in the family?
Because he speaks English as if he'd been here all his life. And lies as if he were a traveller from his cradle.
Well, and I'm afraid this priest has converted the affections of your gypsy.
Converted! I! And perverted, my dear friend, but he has made her a whore and a papist.
Wow. Oh, very hopeful family of yours, Brother Scrub. And I suppose the maiden lady has a lover too?
Not that I know, sir. She's the best of them. But they take care to prevent my curiosity by giving me so much business that I'm a perfect slave. What do you suppose is my place in this family?
Butler, I suppose?
I'll tell you. On a Monday, I drive the coach. On a Tuesday, I drive the plough. On a Wednesday, I follow the hounds. On a Thursday, I dun the tenants. On a Friday, I go to market. On a Saturday, I draw warrants. And on a Sunday, I draw beer.
Well, if variety be a pleasure in life, you have enough of it. But, what ladies are those?
Ours. That upon the left is Mrs. Southern, and the other is Mrs. Dorinda. Don't mind them. Sit still, man.
I've heard my brother talk of Lord Aimwell, but they say his brother is a finer gentleman.
Oh, that's impossible, sister.
He's vastly rich, but very close though, so...
No matter for that. If I can creep into his heart, I will open his breast, I warrant him. But I have heard say that people may be guessed at by the behaviour of their servants. I could wish we might talk to that fellow.
So do I, for I think he's a very pretty fellow. Come this way and I'll throw out a lure for him presently.
Corn, wine, and oil indeed. But I think the wife has the greatest plenty of flesh and blood. She shall be my choice. Aye, say you so. Madam, your ladyship's fan.
Oh, I thank you, sir. What a handsome bow this fellow has.
Oh, bow? Why, I have known several footmen come down from London and set up here as dancing masters and carried off the best fortunes in the country.
This project, for aught I know, had been better than ours. Brother Scrub, why don't you introduce me?
Ladies, this is the fine gentleman's footman who you met in London t'other day.
Oh.
I invited him to the cellar so that he might show me the latest fashion in whetting my knives.
Oh, and I hope you have made much of him.
Oh, yes, madam. But I'm afraid the strength of your ladyship's liquor is a little too potent for the constitution of your servant.
Oh, then you don't usually drink ale.
Oh, no, madam. My constant drink is tea or a little water and wine. 'Tis prescribed to me by a physician for a remedy against the spleen.
Oh, Lord! I have the spleen!
I'd thought that distemper had only been proper to people of quality.
Pray, sir, how long have you been in the service of your master?
Oh, not long, madam. Most of my life I've been servicing the ladies. But I make sure never to serve in that post again, because the load of messages the ladies lay upon their servants in London is a little too strong for my poor memory.
Oh, the pleasantest fellow I ever saw, sister. Pray, friend, if your master be married, I assume you still serve a lady?
Oh, no, madam. I take care never to come into a married family, for the commands of both my master and his mistress So contrary, it is impossible to please both.
That's the main point, Gage. My master's not married, I find.
I wonder, friend, that in so many good services you had not better provisions made for you.
Oh, I don't know how, madam. I had a lieutenancy offered to me 3 or 4 times, but that is not bread, madam. I live much better as I do.
Madam, he sings rarely. I was thought to do fairly well here in the country till he came, but alack a day, I am nothing to my brother Martin.
Oh, does he? Oblige us with a song, sir.
Well, are you for passion or for humour?
He has the purest ballad about a trifle.
Oh, a trifle. Pray, sir, let's hear it.
Well, I'm ashamed to offer you a trifle, ladies, but since you command me. There once was a trifle of few that lately have come into play. The men want something to do, and the women want something to say. What makes men trifle in dressing? Because the ladies, they know the eminent side of possessing the eminent trifle abode.
So we're obliged to you, and something for a pair of gloves.
Well, I humbly beg to be excused. I don't take money from any other hand without injuring my master's honour and disobeying his commands.
This is surprising. Have you ever seen such a pretty, well-bred fellow?
Oh, the devil take him for wearing that livery.
I fancy, sister, that he is some gentleman that my lordship has pitched upon for his courage, infidelity, and discretion. To accompany him in his dress, and to 10 to 1, was his second too.
Oh, yes. It must be so, and it shall be so, for I like him.
What? Better than the Count?
Oh, the Count happened to be the most agreeable man upon the place, and so I chose him in better design upon my husband,
Yes.
but I should like this fellow in better design upon myself.
Yes, sister, but now, for an interview with his lordship and his gentleman, how could we bring that about?
Patience! You country women give no quarter if once you be entered. Would you prevent their desires and give the fellows no wishing time? Look, Dorinda, if my Lord Aylmer loves you and deserves you, he will find a way to see you, and there we must leave it. My business now comes upon the tapis. Have you prepared your brother?
Oh, yes.
And how does he relish it?
He said little, mumbled something to himself, promised to be guided by me.
Right.
Oh, here he comes.
What was that singing I just heard now?
They are singing your head, my dear. You can play to it all day.
You are impertinent.
I was ever so since I became one flesh with you.
One flesh. Rather 2 carcasses joined and naturally together.
Rather one living soul coupled to a dead body.
So this is fine encouragement for me.
Yes, my wife shows you what you must do.
And my husband shows you what you must suffer.
So, Death, why can't you be silent?
Death, why can't you talk?
Do you talk any
You
purpose?
think to any purpose?
Sister Harkey.
What did you whisper to me?
That he would come round the back way, hide in the closet, and listen as I instructed him. But sister, I must beg you one last time to drop this project, for I do fear that instead of rousing your husband into this kindness, he should awaken a real rage, and who knows how far his brutality may carry
I
him.
am provided to receive him, I warrant you.
I bring in my brother guilty.
I must bear the punishment. 'Tis hard, sister.
I own it, but you must be patient.
Patient! The cant of custom. Providence sends no evil without a remedy. If I were lie here, groaning under my yoke that I could shake off, I were accessory to my ruin, and my patience were no better than self-murder.
But how should you shake off the yoke? You don't become between the divisions of the law for divorce.
Law? What law can search into the remote abyss of nature? What evidence could prove the unaccountable disaffections of wedlock? Can a jury sum up the natural aversions that are rooted in our souls, and can a bench give judgment on antipathies?
They never pretended, sister. They never meddled, except in times of uncleanness.
Uncleanness. Sister, casual violation is a transient injury and is something that can possibly be repaired, but can radical hatreds ever be reconciled? No. Nature is the first lawgiver, and when she has set tempers opposite, no golden links of wedlock nor iron manacles of law can keep 'em fast.